All right. How you doing? It is the radio guy, the doctor, Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show, coming to you each and every day right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, giving you the latest and the greatest on the world of HBCU, in particular that of our beloved Prairie View A&M University. But we're not limited to just Prairie View, but we cover the SWAC, the MEAC, and much, much more. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy. Instagram is Radio Guy22. And, of course, the website is obnradio.com. And without any further ado, we're going to jump right into today's episode. We have right now a very interesting sighting that'll be coming to you in a very few minutes. There's been a ghost sighting. You'll figure that out later on. Meanwhile, the latest and the greatest going on throughout the world of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, it has been announced that the championship game has returned for football. And that is a good thing. It has also been announced that the new location, at least for year one or 1 year, will be that of Legion Field, the legendary Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. In addition to the SWAC basketball tournament will return to Birmingham, Alabama. Now, there are a lot of people who are up in arms of why bring this thing back to Birmingham. We've had our fill of Birmingham. Well, that's what happens when you don't have leadership in place. I know they're working out some detailed measures for the soon-to-be named, I assume, commissioner for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Still working out details. Everybody know who it's going to be. I'm just going to be respectful and not say it just yet. But everyone knows who it's going to be. So we'll just hold that mule and we'll wait until it's officially announced. But back to this football championship being in Birmingham, Alabama. I thought that the SWAC was going to say, why not have it at the team with the top seed, best record, host the championship game? Won't be a major problem. If you're the top team, you benefit by hosting the championship game. In essence, it saves money. In essence, it makes logical sense. And I hear a lot of people crying, moaning, and complaining. It's an outdoor stadium. It's an outdoor stadium. The weather might be rough. It's called football. Wrap up, play the game. Don't use weather as an excuse for not coming. Because if it was in Houston, it was too far from the east. If it's going to be in Alabama, it's going to be too far from the west. If the truth be told, if I'm Pine Bluff, Alcorn, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley, Southern, and Grambling, I am going to suggest that we all put this place for the championship game and the basketball tournament, if you would, in a place that won't be too far one way or the other. Because you went all the way west to Texas, now you're going all the way east back to Alabama. If I'm those 6 schools, I'm saying, you know what? We're going to make it a happy medium where everyone could travel. And here's a little side note that you might want to consider for the basketball tournament. If you're going to bring it back to Birmingham, which obviously is going to be, I believe the venue that they're looking at holds anywhere between 3,000 and 4,000. Why not invite all teams to come and be a part of the basketball tournament? Each school has 400, 500 tickets to sell. Everybody sell those tickets. Make it a experience that everyone can enjoy. And let's get some people in the seats. Just my suggestion. So the stage is set for the championship games for football and basketball. I'm glad that football championship has come back. And let me give a shout out to Grambling Nation. I've been going back and forth with these guys on Twitter. Twitter sometimes can give you a bad understanding. We were talking about the FCS playoffs. And the FCS playoffs, are not as inviting or intriguing as they would appear from outside looking in. They are good, but part of the challenge has been, in order for the Southwestern Athletic Conference to get an automatic bid, they would have had to agree collectively to rearrange some of their conference scheduled games, i.e., the Bayou Classic, which features Grambling and Southern. And I am on record for saying, I've said it on this show numerous times, but apparently a couple of the Grambling nations did not or had not heard. So I am going to repeat this again. There's no way, it does not make logical nor financial sense for Grambling and Southern to omit that game for the sake of pleasing the powers that be within the FCS. Because the goal for the MEAC or the SWAC would be Celebration Bowl. However, if you want to be considered for an FCS at-large bid, we, SWAC Nation, MEAC Nation, will have to step up your non-conference schedule levels of competition and performance. Example, you are going to have to play some teams that will boost your RPI ranking in order to be considered for an at-large bid. Point number 2, you will have to prove that you can travel. The FCS, just like any other entity within the NCAA, is about making money. Don't bellyache and cry if you're omitted because you play a soft non-conference schedule and you don't have attendance numbers to match. And I'm talking about real attendance numbers, not counting tickets sold, but actually the butts in the seats. That's what I'm talking about. I hope I'm clear on that. You can dial the message line at 713-570-6736. Leave your thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns, and we will address them right here at the Mike Prince Show.
My name is Carter. You listen to my papa at 87.9 FM.
Delayed does not mean denied. And we are so excited to have with us on the phone line none other than Coach Eric Dooley. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Oh, man, we're absolutely fine. We have dubbed you as officially as the Ghost. That's not a bad thing. That just means that when they say out of sight, doesn't mean you're out of mind. You've just been on the grind working. You've been a busy man since we last spoke in December, correct, Coach?
Absolutely. Trying to get things in order because I know this season was going to come real fast.
Okay, the season has come real fast. You have been doing a whole lot of moving and shaking. Got a lot of accolades on your 27 signees, and I'm understanding you're still working on trying to get even more guys even transferred in or not. So bring us up to speed on how things have been working, with the spring game and how things are coming out with the roster working out.
I think things are falling in place. The spring game turned out to be pretty good. What I was looking for. I think we were successful in that department as well, and now we're moving on now to try to move forward to take on the season. And of course, you always look for good athletes to be a part of your team. Just because they're dismissed or still out there doesn't mean they fit into what you're trying to do. So we're very careful in evaluating those guys and making sure that we can fill those guys in with the guys that we have that has done a tremendous job thus far.
Absolutely. And with the guys that you have blended in, and then you yet have a wave of freshmen that are going to be coming in within the next few weeks. So you'll still be trying to gel pieces together on that as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Fortunately, our freshmen been in summer school already. They just completed their first summer session, so now they're still there. And finding their way around and getting introduced to a lot of things that they wasn't accustomed to doing. But I think they fit in good. We got a good group of freshmen, highly intelligent, smart guys. So we're very, very excited about those young men.
All right, we're speaking right now with Coach Eric Dooley, head football coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Now, Coach, there have been a couple of big rules that is going to change college football, I'm predicting, on the future. And in fact, I think they're going to come back in a couple of years and change these rules. That's how powerful I think they're going to be. And that is the redshirt freshmen allowed 4 games. And then the open transfer rule that has been implemented by the NCAA. How are you seeing those things?
Oh, yeah, those things fall into place. I think when you get an opportunity to bring in freshmen and you get a chance to see what they can do early on, because of a lot of the games are very, very important, but they are your preseason part of your schedule. Some of those guys get a chance to go out there to see if they can add depth to your football team. So I think it's a good rule in place, because those young men, they come in hungry and ready to play as well. But sometimes they have some guys in front of them that paid their dues and doing an excellent job. When you talk about the transfer rule, that a lot of folks are going to be successful from that because of the way that they're establishing. But I don't look for that to last long.
Oh yeah, I'm. They're going to put a block on that, but I think that's code for we allow you the freedom to transfer to slow what's going to be the inevitable that these young men get paid on and off the field, for some of their skills, because they're drawing a lot of money for the NCAA.
Absolutely.
We're speaking again with Coach Eric Dooley. Coach, you got an entire new coaching staff, but in particular, we want to talk about your OC and your DC. When we last spoke, you were still putting pieces together. I know it's officially out there, but give us a background on your guys and how they're working out with their schemes for the upcoming season.
Those young men came in and they was ready to hit the ground running, and I'm very, very familiar with the both of those guys, and I also like to include my special team coordinator, because I think that's a valuable piece. So I do have 3 pieces of that puzzle that I had to implement. But when I start off with the defensive side, I got Coach Henry Miller, who a guy I actually grew up with. We played a lot of football together and coached a lot of football together. He and I had the opportunity to coach at Southern together. We had the opportunity to coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff, and God has blessed us once again to now be at Prairie View on the same page again. He's a guy that I know what he brings to the table. I know what type of defense he's going to run. It's going to be a fast defense. It's going to be a defense that apply a lot of pressure. So he was a guy that I didn't have to second guess. I knew immediately, and I knew it didn't matter where he was. He'll be here. It wasn't a question of that. So I was very, very happy to get him to come aboard. And then another guy was Ted White, who I had the opportunity also to work with at Southern University, but knew him through a lot of people. We always crossed paths against one another, had opportunity to work with one another, and understand that we had the same type of vision. And it's kind of real touchy, because that's my side of the ball offensively. So you got to make sure you're very careful in picking guys that that pretty much do what you do. So I was very pleased in being able to get him to come over as well. He was highly touted. A lot of individuals wanted to bring him in, but I was successful in landing him to come to Prairie View. And then another young man that's been around everywhere, been around a lot of football, Aratai Littlejohn. He was my special team coordinator, bring a wealth of knowledge to the game, really on all levels of the game, because he has coached on the offensive side, he has coached on the defensive side, he's ran special teams, and he's my special team coordinator. So, and him and Coach Henry Miller had worked together once before at Utah State. So it's kind of like a family affair that's getting back together.
Reunion. OJ's a family reunion, huh, Coach?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Now, Coach, it's been 9 months now. You're getting, or maybe I should say have gotten acclimated now to being the head coach of the program. And what have been some of your transitional challenges from being assistant to the head man now that you're in charge?
Well, you have challenges regardless of what you do. I think I can be thankful that even when I was at the position level, when I was at the coordinator level, I always pride myself on being the guy in charge. I respect who was in charge, but I always put myself in that situation, because I that's what I was looking for, and that's what I was dreaming and hoping to become. But it is some challenging things because it's no longer are you just looking at the offensive side of the ball to find out. You're looking at the entire team. You have to make sure you got to answer those late night phone calls. You got to make sure that the guys are doing the things that needed to be done, making sure everyone is enrolled in school at the right time or back from home. Or there's a lot of different things, but I can tell you this year I'm prepared and ready for it.
Now, Coach, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the greatest, what would you say was your adjustment level of transitioning from assistant coordinator or coordinator, assistant head coach to head coach?
Well, I wouldn't. I know you want me to rate it. I don't really have to rate it. Fortunate enough, each school that I was at, most of the time when the head coach had to take off and do things, I was the one that actually filled in and got an opportunity. That's just the way I look at the Lord was preparing me. I know that because, sometimes you don't know why you're doing it, but then at the end of the day, when it all comes down, you know what the reason behind it was for now. And I think he put me in situations to prepare me for this moment like this here. But right now, I mean, it's not a real challenge to me because I accept every challenge that comes. I think, I tell you what, the big surprising thing, I don't feel like it's boring to me now because I'm not right in the mix of it for as getting the offense to line down and do things that I like challenging them to do. But I mean, I'm excited about it. I like the role. I get a chance to see a lot of the defense. I get a chance to see the whole picture now.
Now, Coach, how hard was it for you now to just finally let go of that offensive coordinator side and say, I got to pass this torch on down? I know you get an itch every now and then, right?
Did I pass it down yet? Nah, I'm kidding. Yeah, I did. It was extremely hard. That's a love of mine. Actually, we talk a lot about the being the offensive coordinator, but honestly, my true love has always been coaching the wide receivers. I mean, anytime I get a chance to, I mean, even if I walk on the field today, my eyes going to go directly to the wide receivers because that's the position I played. That's the position I coached for so long, and I'm just I guess my eyes is going to always turn to that. But it was extremely hard because you have a love for it, but I understand the situation and I understand what needs to be done. So when you can turn it over to someone that you know that's capable and highly qualified, you have no reservations.
We're speaking right now with Coach Eric Dooley, head football coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, on the eve of the first inaugural, or should I say the inaugural season of Coach Dooley and the Panthers. Now, Coach, you came over. You said at your press conference, long time coming, 22 years in the waiting, and the man who has the confidence in you to help you land your first head coaching job has transitioned on. How has that been for you psychologically and emotional, knowing that you're going to have to continue on this journey without the man who invested in you, and that athletic director, Ashley Robinson?
Well, there it is again. The word tells me you're going to have trials and tribulations, so I expect things to come about, but I know that I'm prepared for it because, once again, you and I had that conversation earlier. When your steps are ordered, it doesn't matter what takes place. It's already there for you to continue to move on with what you came out to do. I was very hard because I had a great relationship with him, but I know that's just in this type of game in sports right now. Things are like that going to happen. So the thing is, you always you love everything, but you just don't fall in love with everything. Things are going to change.
Yes, sir. Very well said, sir. Very well said. Now, Coach, I know that you got a lot of people pulling at you right now. I just got a couple more, and we'll get you out of the way. I know you've had a chance to study this schedule. It's somewhat of what I've been calling a Goliath schedule. And I know you're a man of faith right now. You have to take each game, one game at a time, one play at a time in order to get it assessed. But there's going to be a lot of eyes on PV Nation coming out the gate starting August 25th.
Absolutely. You know what? I know I said it, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. I wouldn't have it no other way. I mean, I'm up for the challenge. I know that the way that the team are preparing, they're up for the challenge. So I wouldn't have it no other way because we're looking to play football for 60 minutes. It doesn't matter where it is and who we're playing against, and that's the attitude, the mindset that we have to have. So I mean, it's challenging, and we preparing for that now.
Absolutely, Coach. Now, the schedule for the practices, if I'm not mistaken, practice will start July 27th. Would you like to inform PV Nation on what that would look like and entail?
Yeah, practice will start. That'll be our first day. We'll report July 26th. We'll start that following morning. Practice will probably take place around 9:05 and last up until about 11:23, and we'll get the ball rolling right there. That'll be a great day to be at Prairie View. I can assure you that.
Now, will the schedule be the same, 9 o'clock each day, no evening practices?
No, I like to change. I like to change. I don't want no one to get comfortable in what we're doing or what they're doing. So we're going to bounce around. We're going to do some things. We got some guys that are still in summer school. We're going to make sure we always take care of the academic side because that's the most important piece. We understand they're student athletes, so we're going to make sure that they can go to the classes and be successful in that. But we'll have some morning practices. We'll have some evening practices. And then it all dictates on the weather. How the weather we could change. So we do have some alternate schedules that we already have in place in case things go this way here. But I know the first 3 days it will be in the morning, and that following week it will be in the evening.
All right.
Due to the last part of summer session 2.
Okay, sounds very, very good. As we may mention, Coach, back in December, you are more than welcome to come here at the open mic at any time. We even got a slot for you for a weekly appearance here during the fall when the season kicks off. Just want you to know that it is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Only exception is if we're in a leap year, then you get an extra day. And with that being said, Coach, I'm going to give you an opportunity to have some final thoughts and comments to PV Nation.
Well, I tell you, the time has finally arrived, and we're excited. My family excited. I'm excited, and I know PV Nation is excited to see what the brand that we're going to put on the football field. But I can assure them this year we're going to put a brand on the football field that's going to be very exciting, that's going to be fast, and that's going to play for 60 minutes.
Well, there you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. The Ghost has arrived and has talked to us in full session. Coach Eric Dooley, thank you so much, Coach, for the opportunity. I am the radio guy, the Dr. Mike Prince. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy. Instagram is Radio Guy 22. And don't forget the website is obnradio.com. Until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.